Happy Monday and last week of summer school. Great job for all of your hard work the last couple weeks. Keep it up to finish strong this week. Today for reading, we're going to be looking at the problem and the solution in a fiction story. A problem is something that a character in a story wants to change, fix, or figure out. So something that's going wrong in the story. And the solution is the way a problem is solved or fixed. So when I read our book today, we'll see what happens in the story and how they fix the problem at the end. Here's a few quick examples of some problems and how they're solved. So if you have a tire that goes flat, the solution to fix it would be to put air in it or maybe get it fixed. If your pencil breaks, you can get a new one or sharpen it. If you get stung by a bee, you can put medicine on it. All right, let's read our story and find out what happens in the book. All right, so the book we're going to read today together is called Fly to the Rescue. And we're going to determine at the end of the story what the problem was in the book and then what the solution was to the problem. So the problem means what was happening or going wrong in the story, and the solution is how it was fixed or solved at the end. So we're going to talk about that once we finish. Fly to the Rescue by Lisa Benjamin, illustrated by Ken Gamage. Let's see what happens. Flora was a fly. She liked many things. She liked ice cream and baseball games. She also liked her wings and loved to fly. But Flora did not like school. She was the only insect at her school. Everyone else was a spider, and the other kids laughed at her. They said, "Look at her 6 little legs." So everyone else is spiders, and she's an insect because she's a fly. They made fun of her. They would judge her too. "Your wings look silly," Sammy said one day. The spiders called her names and hid her book bag. They said her lunch looked rotten. They even pushed her away from the water fountain. "Can't a fly get a drink around here?" Flora asked. "I didn't know spiders could be so mean." So Flora tried to fit in. In gym class, the kids had to practice spinning webs. Some kids made huge webs. Others made webs that were really sticky. Flora tried to make a web. She tried and tried, but nothing happened. The other kids laughed. "That's silly. Only spiders can make webs," they said. In class, the students learned a new word. It was arthropod. An arthropod is any kind of bug or crab. Mosquitoes, beetles, and grasshoppers are all arthropods. Spiders and flies are arthropods too. Flora said, "See, we are all the same," but the other kids did not care. One day, a strong breeze rushed into Flora's classroom and scared the whole school. It blew papers all around. It knocked over desks. Worst of all, it swept everyone out of the room. That doesn't look good. The breeze carried all the spiders out the window. It lifted them high up in the air. They landed in a tall tree. It was too dangerous to climb down. That made the spiders afraid. "Help!" They started screaming, "Help!" They're all screaming, "Help, help, help," because spiders can't fly. They're stuck. The breeze had lifted Flora into the air too, but she was not afraid. She could do something the others could not do. She could fly. Flora decided to rescue the spiders. She flew to the tree. Flora grabbed Sammy first. She carried him to the ground. "Wow," Sammy said, "your wings are not silly at all. They're cool. Thanks, Flora." It looks like she's doing a nice thing even though they weren't being so nice. One by one, Flora rescued all the spiders. "You've saved us," they said. "It is good to be a fly," she said, "and it is great to have a fly for a friend," said Sammy. "Come play baseball with us." The end. So now we're going to talk about the problem in the book, and then the end, luckily there was a solution and a happy ending. So that was awesome for Flora, because the beginning of the book, there was lots of problems. Okay, so we just finished the book Fly to the Rescue, and there were a lot of different problems in this book. The first one that I noticed was that the fly was not treated fairly. The spiders at her school kind of laughed at her, made fun of her, did mean things to her just because she was different than them. Because everyone else was a spider, she was the only fly. So that was a main problem. And then look on this page, they're being mean to her here. They pushed her away from the water fountain, all just because she was different. So then another thing that happened is in gym class, they were supposed to make a web. But since she is a fly, flies don't make spider webs. So she couldn't do it. So all the kids in class laughed at her. So then what happened here is that the big wind came, and all the spiders got stuck up in the tree, and spiders can't fly out. So Flora decided to save the spiders. So the solution then at the end was that she got to help save them, and they decided that she's not really silly at all. So at the end of the book, we learned that the spiders were into trouble. That was their problem. And the way that they solved it was that Flora was such a nice kid in their class that she saved them from the tree. So I really like this book because it teaches even us, humans, a story about how to treat others. Just because someone's different than us doesn't mean we should make fun of them or not include them in different activities that you might be playing or interested in. Like they invited her to play baseball, which was something that she really liked to do. All right, now I'm going to show you something that will be on your portfolio today. We'll do an example together, and then you'll be able to finish it up. Okay, so here's what you're going to open up today in your portfolio. It says find the problem and solution for each part. Scroll down to see each assignment. Go to your portfolio to turn in your answers. You can take a picture of your answers or you can type them. So since you can't type on this, you'll have to go into another file on there just like before and type in your answers. Or you can print these out and type or take a picture of them, or you can just write it on a paper and send it to me. So a problem, like we talked about, is something that's causing trouble or harm that needs to be solved. So a fire is a problem. We don't want to have a fire. So the solution is how it's solved. So the fire truck comes and puts out the fire. So this is just showing us what a problem and solution are. Then you're going to go down. Here's a picture. It says find a solution. Look at the picture below. Write a solution you could use to solve the problem. So it looks like there's a man here and it's raining. So you're going to have to write and tell me how would he solve the problem that he's having. So you can write down how he's solving his problem. Okay, the next page it gives you 5 problems here. And right here, you're gonna write down the solution to them. So the first one, it says, Macy broke her pencil during math. So to solve her problem, what could she do? If you break your pencil, what can you do? Well, if it's during math, you might wanna ask the teacher for a pencil. If you have a sharpener, you're allowed to do that. You can sharpen your pencil, or you can get a new pencil. So that's for the first one. Then you'll have 4 more for this of how to solve each of these problems. So Sam saw someone steal a candy bar from the store. Ooh, what would you do to solve that? So read through those and see how you'd solve them. And then this one, it's the opposite. It's what's the problem. So here's the solution. So you have to figure out what the problem was. So it says, number 1, I ran inside and got an umbrella. So what do you think the problem was? Why would they need an umbrella? Because it was raining outside. So that would be the problem was it was raining. The solution would be to run inside and get an umbrella. Okay, the next one is Devin went to the doctor. What do you think his problem was? It could be a couple different reasons. Okay, the last part here, it's just a story about a cupcake. It's called the Cupcake Dilemma. So something must have happened in this story. It's not too long. It's just right here. And then at the end, it says what was the problem in the story, and then how did they fix it? What was the solution? And you can put this into your portfolio. So that's what your assignment is for today for problem and solution. Alrighty, see you later.